Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going on a really personal but also universal journey. We're pulling together some writings about loss, about love, and about the kind of spiritual insights that can really help us navigate the toughest times. It all starts with a very gentle invitation.
So, to start us off, we have this beautiful line from a character called Zoran the Dragon, who's going to be our guide today. Ah, little ember of the human heart, gather close. It just sets the perfect tone, right? It creates this warm, reflective space for the story we're about to explore. Okay, so our first big idea is this powerful image of the unbroken thread. It's this concept that the connections that matter most, the ones that are woven from pure love, they're never actually broken, not even by death. Now, you gotta understand, this isn't just some abstract theory. This whole thing is grounded in a real, profound loss. The person who wrote all this, they literally walked through the fire of losing their mother, who they describe as this incredible beacon of love. So this comes from a very real, very raw place. And that actually brings us to this idea called synchronicity. The source defines it as a meaningful coincidence. And for the author, wow, did this hit home. They were literally in the middle of writing a book all about how everything is connected, and in that very moment, their mother passed away. It took the whole project from being this abstract idea to something intensely, painfully personal.
So, what do you do with a pain that big? Well, the source offers this incredible shift in perspective. Grief, it says, isn't the enemy we need to fight. It's the price of love. Just think about that for a second. The depth of your grief is really just a measure of the depth of your love. That shadow, it's the very thing that proves the light was there and that it was real.
And look, this idea of grief being the price of love, it's not just some philosophical one-liner. We actually see it expressed in its most raw and human form in a song that the author wrote, right from the heart of that initial crushing pain.
These are the opening words to a song they wrote called R.I.P. Dear Mom. And man, they just capture that gut punch moment perfectly. That phone call in the dead of night that just shatters your entire world. It's that initial visceral shock and sorrow that I think so many of us know.
But then you get to the chorus and something starts to shift. Even when the pain is so fresh, the focus moves to her legacy. The lessons about forgiveness, about compassion, all the laughter, all the tears, those are the things that echo on. The song isn't just about what was lost, it's about what remains.
And here it is. This is the real turning point, right from the song's bridge. Life and death weave together. They're a dance that never ends. You can feel the shift away from pure sorrow towards something more philosophical, more hopeful. It's this suggestion that even inside the heartbreak, there's a bigger harmony happening, a place where our broken hearts can actually begin to mend. So, the big question is, how do you get there? How do you tap into that harmony? How do you find this completely new way of looking at things? Well, the source points to a very specific practice, which brings us to our next section, a new way of seeing.
And what we learn here is really interesting. The goal isn't to master grief. It's not about gritting your teeth and pushing through. No, the source suggests we bow to it. We let it be what it is, like a humbling rain that comes and softens all that hard, painful ground, getting our soul ready for new things to grow.
This practice, this new way of seeing, helps us make a huge shift in perspective. We move from what you might call seeing in black and white, which is our default state, right? Just reacting, feeling separate, to seeing in color. And that is a state of being where you actively cultivate kindness and connection, and you start to see the world in all its vibrant, interconnected wholeness. So what does that actually look like, seeing in color? Well, the source suggests that through meditation, some amazing things happen. That illusion that we're all separate, it starts to get thinner. Your breath, it becomes a literal bridge between life and death. Endings aren't really endings anymore. They're just folds in this infinite fabric. And most beautifully, a mother's love isn't gone. It just becomes a permanent note in the universe's song. And you know, when you make that kind of shift inside, from separation to connection, it naturally changes how you show up in the world. It reveals that the outward expression of all this inner peace is actually really simple, but also incredibly profound. Kindness is the key. I just think this is such a beautiful idea. When you build up this inner richness, this wealth of heart, you don't hoard it like money. That's not what it's for. The natural result is that you give it away. You freely share kindness and compassion with everyone. No strings attached.
Okay, this metaphor is just fantastic. The source says to think of life as a video game. So step 1,
Life throws a challenge at you, right? Someone cuts you off in traffic. Step 2, the default programming is to react, to get upset. But step 3, there's another path. You can see it as an opportunity. And the action? Step 4, just smile. And the reward? Step 5, you level up. You actually grow as a person. So kindness and compassion, they become the cheat codes to winning the game of life.
And so that brings us here to our final theme. We're going to weave all those threads together, grief, love, connection, and see that even when you think the final note has faded, the song plays on. We come back to that song's chorus, but wow, it just lands with so much more weight now, doesn't it? With our hearts intertwined, we're never far apart. After everything we've talked about with meditation and connection, that line stops feeling like just a comforting thought and starts to feel like a fundamental truth. The love is still here. It's a constant, tangible presence. And this right here is the ultimate takeaway, the final piece of wisdom from our guide, Zoran the Dragon. It's such a profound and peaceful thought to hold on to. Nothing is ever truly lost. It just changes form. The energy, the love, that connection, it all continues.
You know, this journey through grief and love, it's something we all have to walk in our own way. Which really brings the question back to you. As you think about all this, maybe just consider, what are the unbroken threads in your own life? What connects you, right now, to the people and the memories that you cherish the most?